Hi, I'm Hallie, and welcome to Project Str-Eng. Lots of questions surround the structures in our world, such as who made them, how they made them, and why they made them. And Project Str-Eng is our attempt at finding these answers through understanding structural engineering. In this episode, we're trying to understand density. But first, let's talk about history. Archimedes was one of the greatest mathematicians in history. He derived the formula for the volume of a sphere and found the accurate value for pi. If my memory serves me right, I think it's 3.1415926535897932384626433838643383795028841. And I think some more. Along with all that, the thing he's most famous for is the story of King Huron II of Syracuse and the gold crown. So this king wanted to have a shiny new crown made as a tribute to the gods. He gave a carefully weighed amount of gold to a smith and had the crown made. But he became super suspicious that the smith didn't use all the gold provided, and instead alloyed it with a cheaper silver and kept the gold for himself. Did you know that the biggest ship in the world weighs over 403,000 tons? The Pioneering Spirit measures 383 meters long and can even carry cranes on it. The reason that ships this big can even float on water is all because of their density. Even though ships of this size are made of material denser than water, such as steel and other metals, the hollowness allows for a great amount of air. With this combination of air and metal, the average density of the ship is lighter than the water below it, thus allowing it to float. Anyways, back to Archimedes. Archimedes knew that gold and silver have different densities, meaning that a lump of gold will weigh around twice as much as a lump of silver the same size. Except nobody knew how to figure this out with an irregular shaped object such as a crown. While he was figuring this out, he decided to go to the public baths and relax. Relatable. When he slipped into the water, he saw some spill over the edge and he had a flash of inspiration. The displaced water must have the exact same volume as him. And if you know the volume of an object, you can easily calculate its density. All Archimedes had to do was figure out whether a pure lump of gold with the same volume as a crown weighed more. And this is where it gets good. In his moment of success, he yelled out, "Eureka, I found it!"
I found it.
I found it! And soon after, the goldsmith confessed to his crime and got punished by the king. And this, ladies with gentle hands, is how he developed the theory of buoyancy. Now I'll pass it off to Peyton with the interview.
All right, density, Daniel. Tell me about density.
Simply put, it's a measure of how much stuff or matter is packed into a given space. It's about the relationship between mass and volume. Think of it as a measure of compactness. Density is commonly expressed in units of grams per cubic centimeter or kilograms per liter. It's important to note that density is an intensive property, meaning it doesn't depend on the quantity of a substance, but rather on its nature. No matter how much or how little of a substance you have, its density will remain the same. But what if we add something else into the mix? So safety first.
Wait, density, Daniel. What's with the swimming goggles?
They were on sale. Anyways, now to our experiment.
Whoa!
Water is known to have a higher density than oil. If you pour the oil into a glass of water, you'll notice that the oil floats on top. This happens because oil has a lower density compared to water. Water molecules are densely packed, making water more massive than oil in the same volume. As a result, the water sinks to the bottom of the glass, displacing the lighter oil, which remains on top.
What kind of oil is that?
Olive.
Is water like the most dense liquid?
No, definitely not. But
what is the most dense liquid? Do you know?
No clue. I'm sure
Density, Daniel doesn't know?
I have to do more research, I guess. When an object is placed in fluid, it experiences an upward force known as buoyant force. If the object, you're not supposed to drink that, you know that, right? If an object's density is less than the density of the fluid, it will float. Conversely, if the object density is greater than the fluid, it will sink. This principle explains why some objects float in water while others sink. Scientists and engineers consider density when designing structures, choosing materials, developing new technologies, and other stuff. Now, you might be wondering, why is density important in structural engineering? Another area where density is crucial is construction of roads and highways. Density of asphalt, which is a common material used for road surfaces, directly affects its durability and performance. Proper compaction during construction ensures a dense, tightly packed layer that can withstand heavy traffic and harsh weather conditions. Density also plays a significant role in materials like concrete, which is widely used in construction. The density of concrete affects its strength, permeability, and resistance to cracking. By carefully selecting the right materials and controlling the mixture and proportions, structural engineers can optimize the density of concrete to meet specific project requirements. And there you have it, an introduction to the concept of density. It's all about how tightly packed the particles of matter are within an object, and they're expressed in mass per unit volume.
Thanks, Density Daniel. That was a dense.
That was a solid high five.
Density is a substance's mass per unit of volume. The SI unit of density is kilograms per meter cubed. The density of a material varies with temperature and pressure. And fun fact, osmium is the densest known element on Earth at standard conditions for temperature and pressure. It's more than 22.5 times denser than fresh water. Does your brain feel bigger after this? I know mine does. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button on your way out. And as always, enjoy the process.
My fingers are sweaty.
Oh, I'm so sweaty.
Can I go home and take a shower? You think Arb will mind?